Fact summary: the Consuelos' milestone moment. The Broadway debut. On Thursday, April 9, 2026, 23-year-old Joaquin Consuelos officially made his Broadway debut in the highly anticipated revival of Death of a Salesman, starring as the younger version of Biff. A rare public outing. Kelly, Ripa and Mark Consuelos were spotted attending the opening night performance at the Hudson Theater, followed by an after-party at the iconic Katz's Deli, marking a rare, high-profile family appearance in the heart of Manhattan. The first preview rule. Kelly revealed on Live with Kelly and Mark that she honored Joaquin's strict request to skip the first preview performance, waiting until the official opening night to see him on stage to respect his artistic process. A bittersweet week. The family celebration comes on the heels of the recent passing of Mark's father, Saul Consuelos, at age 87. The family utilized this milestone to honor Saul's legacy as a supportive grandfather who helped raise the kids. The university transition. This performance marks Joaquin's professional transition from his time at the University of Michigan, where he was both a wrestler and a theater student, to a full-time career in the New York performing arts scene. I was watching him with a smile on my face and I cried. When you hear a father like Mark Consuelos say those words about his youngest son, you aren't just hearing about a parent's pride. You're hearing the sound of a torch being passed. For decades, the Ripa Consuelos brand has been about the parents, the witty banter, the morning show dominance, the soap opera origins. But over the last 72 hours, the narrative has fundamentally shifted. The kid, who used to be the subject of funny anecdotes on morning TV, just stepped into the most prestigious spotlight in the world. On April 9, 2026, Joaquin Consuelos didn't just walk a red carpet with his parents. He took his first bow on Broadway, and in doing so, he officially changed the family business from a duo to a dynasty. The factual reality of this rare family outing is deeply rooted in the opening night of the Death of a Salesman revival. Joaquin, a 23-year-old graduate of the University of Michigan's elite theater program, landed the role of young Biff through a grueling audition process that reportedly stayed separate from his parents' influence. The opening night at the Hudson Theater wasn't just a photo op, it was a high-stakes professional launch. Mark Consuelos told the press that he watched the entire 3-hour performance without blinking, describing the experience as overwhelming. Kelly, meanwhile, revealed that she had to white-knuckle her way through the previews, as Joaquin had specifically asked his mother to stay away until opening night, so he could find his feet as an actor without the pressure of her presence. The family later took the celebration to Katz's Deli, a quintessential New York move that felt like a grounded rejection of the typical high-fashion gala circuit. Public reaction to the Consuelos takeover has been an explosion of support, but it's the social media debate that's getting interesting. On TikTok and X, viral clips of the family's after-party entrance have fans obsessing over the full-circle moment. People are contrasting the grainy, home movie vibes of Joaquin as a kid on Live with Regis and Kelly with the sharp-suited professional actor we saw this week. However, there is a distinct layer of conversation regarding the timing. Because the family is currently mourning the loss of Mark's father, Saul, who passed away just 2 weeks ago, many are calling this Broadway debut a healing milestone. The sentiment online is that this rare public outing wasn't about celebrity vanity, it was about family solidarity in a year of massive highs and devastating lows. This situation escalated because Joaquin represents the anti-influencer of the Consuelos clan. For context, his older siblings, Michael and Lola, have also dabbled in the industry, but Joaquin has spent the last 4 years in the trenches of the University of Michigan wrestling team and theater department. He isn't a social media kid. He rarely posts. He doesn't do "get ready with me" videos, and he has purposefully built a reputation based on technical skill rather than TikTok trends. By making his professional debut in an Arthur Miller classic, one of the hardest plays in the American canon, he's signaling that he wants to be a capital A actor. It affects the reputation of the whole family by proving that the nepotism label falls apart when the kid actually puts in the work in Ann Arbor for 4 years before showing up in Times Square. At Original Commentary and Analysis, what does this say about the evolution of the morning show family? It says that Kelly and Mark have successfully navigated the empty nest crisis by becoming their kids' biggest fans rather than their managers. In a culture where many celebrity parents pimp out their children for brand deals, Kelly and Mark have done the opposite. They've kept Joaquin's college years relatively private, only showing up for wrestling matches and school plays. Now that he's on Broadway, they aren't trying to share the stage. They're sitting in the front row as paying customers. It humanizes them in a way that years of live segments never could. Maintain a conversational tone, but let's look at the Consuelos' legacy shift. Mark is also set to make his Broadway debut in Fallen Angels later this month. This means for a few weeks in April 2026, father and son are literally Broadway rivals. The analytical tone of the theater community has been surprisingly welcoming. Joaquin is being praised for his athletic stage presence, a clear carryover from his years as a Big Ten wrestler. Short, punchy sentences in the reviews have called his performance grounded and unaffected. The pacing of his career feels like a slow burn that just hit a massive ignition point. We have to clearly separate the confirmed details from the online theories. It is a confirmed fact that Joaquin is represented by major agencies and has already filmed a pilot for Hulu called Foster Dade. It is a confirmed fact that Saul Consuelos' passing was a major emotional weight on this opening night. The online theories, however, are speculating that Mark and Kelly are planning to eventually retire from Live once their 30th anniversary passes to focus on producing their children's projects. Fans are theorizing that the Consuelos kids will eventually form their own production house, Consuelos and Sons, taking over the family's New York townhouse as a creative hub. There is zero evidence for a retirement plan, but the dynasty talk is louder than ever. The analytical tone of this week has also focused on the Michigan connection. Kelly has often spoken about her, Moms of Michigan group, and several of those friends were reportedly in the audience for Joaquin's debut. It shows a level of community that exists outside of the Hollywood bubble. Slower, more thoughtful threads are discussing how the family's grief for Saul has made this rare outing feel more like a tribute than a celebration. This leads us to a bigger industry question. Can a celebrity kid ever truly debut without the shadow of their parents? Even though Joaquin was the one on stage, the headlines still lead with Kelly and Mark's son. The future impact of this will be seen in whether Joaquin takes more indie theater roles or pivots quickly to the screen to establish a separate identity. The upcoming response possibility is a joint interview on Live. While Joaquin has been private, the pressure to promote the show might lead to a sit-down with his parents on the very set where he was once just a guest. The unresolved tension remains the Fallen Angels opening. How will the family balance supporting both Mark and Joaquin in the same month without making it feel like a Consuelos PR blitz? Ultimately, the Ripa Consuelos family outing this week wasn't just about a play. It was about a 23-year-old proving he has the chops to survive without a morning show monologue. By choosing Katz's Deli over a red carpet gala and a drama classic over a blockbuster role, Joaquin Consuelos is telling the world that he's ready for the spotlight, but he's doing it on his own terms. Do you think Joaquin's theater-first approach is the smartest way to dodge the Nepo baby criticism, or will he always be seen as Kelly and Mark's kid, regardless of his talent? Let's talk about it in the comments.